What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's yours truly, Fitz. Hope you guys are having an absolute awesome day. I just got home from work not too long ago, and we already got the next announcement for the next Silph League Cup. But first off, I want to give a warm welcome to Scott C. He became a recent Patreon supporter for the channel just yesterday, so kudos to Scott. And I also want to thank Jessica, Maria, I hope I'm saying that right, and Zeta Bear Slayer, 3 other channel supporters. So thank you guys. If you're ever wondering how you can support the channel, links are in the description. You can support via Patreon, just $1 a month, or you can hit that join button as you see right here and join that way and become a member. Both Patreon and on YouTube will give you exclusive access to rewards. Now, like I said, let's get into it. The Jungle Cup. So this is electric, bug, grass, and normal. So this is an extremely weird cup. There are species that are banned. You cannot use Tropius or the Burmy family. Now I know what you're thinking. Why can't we use the Burmy family? Well, candies aren't extremely accessible right now. Neither is Tropius by any means, and I understand that. But that's probably why these are both banned. It's just not easily accessible to get these Pokemon. And another Pokemon on this list isn't easily accessible either, which should have probably been banned, but we'll go over that. So, you know the drill already. I'm going to go over the 3, what I think best electric types are, the 3 bug types are, the 3 grass, and the 3 normal. And there is something going to do a little bit different. We're going to go over the stats of each of these Pokemon that I'm about to go over on that spreadsheet at the end. So we can just kind of look at the stats and compare and see why these Pokemon might be good choices. So first off, I do believe I start with the bug types. So, Vespiquen, right? It's kind of nice that this Pokemon gets a chance to shine. So, it is weak to electric, it's weak to fire, it's weak to flying, it's weak to ice, and it's super weak to rock. But it resists grass, bug, fighting, and ground. So, let's go ahead and look at the moves. And we got Bug Bite, and we have Bug Bite and Poison Sting. Poison Sting's actually not that bad of a quick move. X-Scissor, Power Gem, and Bug Buzz. So, Power Gem is definitely the second move you want to run because it does super effective damage to flying and bugs. So if you're doing a bug versus bug mirror match, whichever bug type you come across, other than Fortress, I do believe you need a shield in order to beat Fortress. I ran some simulations. You need a shield to be able to beat Fortress, but Power Gem will do super effective. Well, it'll do normal damage. Excuse me. It'll do neutral heavy damage. Okay, so neutral damage. But Power Gem is a good coverage move, and then of course X-Scissors just for those shield busting capabilities. You couple that with Poison Sting, and you're going to be firing off X-Scissors pretty quickly. So there's a lot that it doesn't do that much damage to, but the point of X-Scissor, to be honest with you, is to get rid of your opponent's shields if you throw this Pokemon out early. Now, like I said, we'll go over the stats towards the end, so let's bang through these. Next one's Heracross. Now, this is a Pokemon that I was talking about that's not easily accessible. Now, the reason why, the number one reason why I picked this Pokemon is because it can take down this in a fight, whether it's no shield situation for both people, a 1 shield situation for both people, or a 2 shield situation for both people. Heracross will win this fight, so that's why Heracross is in the list. Now, it's weak to Fairy Fire, Flying Big Time, and Psychic, but it resists Bug, Dark, Fighting Grass, and Ground. And look at these t-shirts. Holy cow, what is that about? So we look at the moves. You have to give it counter 100%. The next moves you give it's up to you. You can run close combat, Mega Horn, Earthquake. It doesn't matter. The thing is, in the winning ticket for Heracross, is the fact that counter is such a devastating move to Fortress. Fortress wins almost in every single scenario known to man against every single Pokemon, except Noctowl and Heracross. That's what I've come across. There might be maybe another Pokemon, but I did a lot of simulations going up against Fortress, and Fortress reigns supreme. So what's that telling you? You better have a Fortress in your team of 6 for this tournament. It is the best Pokemon, well, one of the 2 best Pokemon on this list. So you better have a Fortress for sure. It's only weak to fire, and it resists grass, poison, bug, dragon, fairy, ice, normal, psychic, and steel. And its moves are really good too. Give it Bug Bite with Heavy Slam and Rock Tomb. Rock Tomb doing super effective damage to those mirror match bug types. Also to flying. It does lose the Noctowl though, so which is interesting, but it does lose the Noctowl. Heavy Slam does super effective damage to Rock and Ice types. I doubt you'll even come across any of those per se, but it is a nice stab move to do heavy neutral damage. So Fortress is a must. It wins in so many situations. You better have this on your team, I'm telling you right now. Lantern. Lantern is a very good Pokemon. I don't think this wins against... Actually, I think it does win against Fortress. Let me double check that right now, because one of our Go Hub people have been running simulations as is already, and it says Fortress loses only to Noctowl in all scenarios and loses to Vigoroth, Magnezone, and Lantern if they use shields. So Lantern can win in a Fortress matchup if it uses shields. So it's only weak to Grass and Ground, and it super resists the Steel typing moves. So Fortress would have to use the Rock moves. Rock Tomb to beat Lantern if shields aren't in the scenario. So we kind of already know how good Lantern is. Water Gun or Charge Beam, it's up to you. If it was me, probably Charge Beam so you could cover flying types. If it was me, Noctowl, hint hint wink wink, Vespiquen, hint hint wink wink. So you probably want to run Charge Beam with Thunderbolt and Hydro Pump. That would be the moveset to go, if you're asking me. Magneton! It's kind of set in stone, right? Fighting, fire, ground weakness. It super resists flying, poison, steel, bug, you name it. Now, the interesting about this Pokemon is Magnet Bomb. Magnet Bomb doing super effective damage to rock, ice, and fairy Pokemon. So, Magnet Bomb, it comes up really quickly when partnered with Spark, excuse me. But if you have a Discharge Thundershock Magneton, that's really where you're going to shine. I don't see real benefit from using Magnezone from Magneton. Magneton is just a good Pokemon because of the resistances. So if you don't come across a Pokemon that is really going to whoop its butt, Magneton will probably have the upper hand in quite a few scenarios. Especially if it's electric versus electric mirror match. Coupled away from Raichu, which actually is the next Pokemon I'm going to go into, Magneton will probably do okay. It's always been a good Great League Pokemon to begin with, and there's honestly, if I'm being straight honest, there's not very many good electric types outside of Lantern to use to begin with. So I kind of had to dig and search to see what kind of electric types would even be viable in this meta. And Raichu's one of them. Now, Raichu does not beat Fortress, but if you threw Raichu against Magneton, you would win because Brick Break comes up really quickly when coupled with Spark here as a quick move. So Spark, Brick Break. Now the next thing's up to you. You could give it Thunder Punch as another quick charging electric move for stab, or you can give it Wild Charge. I've actually seen some, the professionals, they said give it Wild Charge because if it lands, it's a huge blow and it charges up kind of quick. Not really that fast, but when you couple with Brick Break, and you're already using Spark, my personal opinion, Spark, Brick Break, Thunder Punch. That's probably what you guys want to know, my personal opinion. If you have Thundershock, you're definitely going to go Brick Break, Thunder Punch with Thundershock because you can choose whichever one you want to fire off first. So that's my personal opinion. Noctowl, this is the second or the first best Pokemon. You better have this on your team of 6. I'm telling you this right now. If you haven't noticed, the meta for this isn't that great. There's not very many Pokemon, so it's literally going to be... It's going to be about 50% luck, 50% skill. That's what it's going to boil down to. I'm kind of upset about it if you can't tell already, but this meta is not that deep, unfortunately. Electric, Ice, Rock, Ghost, Ground, Bug, Grass is the resistances. So you want to give it Wing Attack with Sky Attack and Nightshade. There's no way around it. Sky Attack charges up so quickly with Wing Attack. This is a hard-hitting move in PvP too. It's a very hard-hitting move. It's probably one of the best moves in PvP due to that fact. It's crazy how good Sky Attack is. If you've ever played in the Master League with Lugia with Sky Attack, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now this is probably the third best Pokemon in this overall meta. So if you did think about putting this on your team, this is the third Pokemon you should have on your team out of 6. It's only weak to fighting, and it resists Ghost. And it has access to good moves. You want Counter. Counter is how you can destroy Fortress. You want Brick Break because that's how you can destroy Fortress. You want Body Slam because that's for shield busting capabilities, and Stab if you're going up against it like just a neutral matchup. So that would be fantastic to have in your arsenal as well. So Counter, Brick Break, Body Slam. Vigoroth is a pretty beastly Pokemon to begin with, so it's nice to see it in the meta. And it also shiny ones too, right? Because we just had the community day. Next up, Snorlax. Aside from Noctowl and Vigoroth, I really couldn't find a really good normal type Pokemon to put in this. So I found Snorlax because it has access to Lick, which is pretty good. Heavy Slam and Outrage. Also, honestly, why I put this on the list was because of Body Slam. I do have Body Slam Snorlax. I'm sure you guys do too. It's not really that legacy anymore since they came out with it a while back in the boxes. So Traveler's Insurance wants something from me. Body Slam definitely with Lick, and I would go Outrage because if you can land that, that's going to do a lot of damage. You could go Heavy Slam though because it does super effective to Rock. I would go Body Slam Outrage. This is perfect Pokemon for just neutral damage matchups, but if you go against Fortress, you actually lose, and you'll probably lose to Vigoroth. You might lose to Raichu with Brick Break because it's probably going to get Brick Break just as fast as your Body Slam. So it can lose. The neutral Pokemon you definitely want to focus on is Noctowl and Vigoroth, but I threw Snorlax in there because it's not really that bad of a Pokemon anyway. That's a list of the grass types, so let's go into the grass types. There's not very many good grass types because of all the good bug types in this, but I did find some. Okay, so this looks ridiculous, right? Shiftry, Fitz City. Why would you use Shiftry when it's super weak to bug? That's a good point, actually. This goes to show you that the grass typing isn't that great. I mean, you could go with, Venusaur. Let's go ahead and look at Venusaur. It doesn't resist bug by any means, but still weak to flying. But the thing is, the moves with Venusaur is not going to do that much against flying or bug type Pokemon. Like, why would you want Frenzy Plant if you can't hit very good damage against bugs and flying types, which are very prevalent, and extra grass types in this meta? So this is why I stayed away from Venusaur. Now you could say, oh, what about Sludge Bomb, you know, blah blah blah. I just don't think Venusaur fits this, it fits the bill too much. The grass type Pokemon as is aren't that great in this league. So I went with Shiftry for pretty much one reason, and you're gonna see why. Leaf Tornado. I can't remember what Leaf Tornado did, but I'm pretty sure it nerfed your opponent's defense by like 20% or something like that, or it buffs yours. I can't ever keep it straight, but you guys know that Leaf Tornado has stat buff or nerfs available with it, and that's kind of why I put this on here. You can go with Feint Attack to do neutral damage pretty much against everything in the entire league, and then run Leaf Blade and Leaf Tornado. Leaf Tornado doing those stat buff or nerfs definitely, I think, would give you possibly an advantage for setting up in the beginning of the battle. Yeah, your Shiftry might get absolutely destroyed, but that Leaf Tornado setup might be a good idea. I'm not sure. I'm just throwing ideas out there because, like I said, the grass Pokemon aren't that meta relevant at all. Now, Breloom kind of is, and you're probably already seeing why. It's because it has Counter, Dynamic Punch, and Seed Bomb. Because this Pokemon can take out Fortress with shields. Now, if your opponent has shields too, you're kind of SOL. But Counter with Breloom's high attack stat is going to absolutely roast Fortress, and that's a Pokemon you're really looking out for. Especially if you throw out Breloom and they throw out Fortress and begin the battle, they're like, oh crap, I better bring out Noctowl, and then you can counter the Noctowl, and you're taking out two, if not their only two best Pokemon immediately in battle. So Breloom has its uses basically because of counter, because of Dynamic Punch, and a quickly charging charge move in Seed Bomb. Now this one was interesting. I'm like, what could a third grass type be? What could I pick? And it dawned on me because of the dragon typing. It is weak to grass, bug still. That's kind of interesting. I thought dragon resists bug. Weird. So it is still weak to bug, still weak to flying. Huh. It's not weak to grass or electric. So that's pretty good because you could come across some electric types. So let's go ahead and look at the moves. You would probably, I would probably run Dragontail. Only for the fact that you're going to do a lot of neutral damage, heavy neutral damage, as opposed to Bullet Seed when you're coming up across against maybe a bug, flying, or grass type. I'd probably stay away from Bullet Seed, definitely use Dragontail, and then run Seed Bomb and Dragon Pulse. Seed Bomb's a good just shield busting so you can fool your opponent the first time, then hit it with a Dragon Pulse, one hit KO if you're still alive. So finally, let's go over the stats of these Pokemon. Lantern is the one that I'm shadowing over right now, so let's just go over it. Lantern, and I'm using 100% IVs for just the best comparisons. That's how I always do it. It's just really easy to compare Pokemon and their stats if you just give them 100 IVs. I know these aren't the best IVs, but you get the picture. So 15, 15, 15 at level 25. Gives you a 1489 CP. Attack's 107, which is kind of low. Defense is 101, which is kind of low. But the HP is 189, which is God tier. So that's what makes Lantern so good. Now next up, Snorlax. 100% IVs at level 16 nets you a 1474 CP. 109 attack, which is a little bit higher. 98 defense, which is a little bit lower. But 184 HP, which is up there with 189. That is God tier levels. Next up is Noctowl. At 15, 15, 15, level 25.5 will net you also a 1474 CP, 107 attack, kind of low, 115 defense, we're getting towards mediocre, and a 161 HP. But the thing about Noctowl is it has fantastic moves. Next up is Vespiquen right below it. At 15, 15, and 15, level 26 will net you a 1489 CP. At 111 attack, okay, we're getting up there. Defense 139, that's what we're looking for. And a stamina 127, definitely lower than the rest, but that defense sort of makes up for it. We're getting there now. Next up, Fortress. 15, 15, 15 at 22.5 level with 1467 CP. 111 attack, okay. 139 defense, okay. 124 HP. A little bit more well-rounded, okay. Then we step up to Vigoroth. Vigoroth being a normal type. 100% IVs will be 26.5 level, 1490 CP, 119 attack, the biggest so far, 110 defense, 140 HP. So the HP on Vigoroth is actually a lot higher than I thought it would be. That's interesting. It's a lot more tankier. I didn't know that. So Shiftry being a grass dark type, level 22.5, 1499 CP, gives you the highest attack stat we've seen so far, 136. A measly defense of 86 though, so look out with those bug types. But it does have an HP of 140, so it's kinda tanky. Next up is Raichu, electric pure only, at level 24 given 100% IVs, 1496 CP, 136 attack, 108 defense, 111 HP. So it's definitely there to dual out damage and do it quickly because it has those nice shield busting capabilities to begin with. Next up is the Alolan Exeggutor. It is a grass and dragon type. With 100% IVs at level 17, gives you 1464 CP, a 134 attack, 92 defense, 127 HP. So it's there to do damage similar to Raichu. If we go to Heracross here, it's bug and fighting. At 100% IVs at 16.5 level, 1462 CP is what it comes in at. 135 attack, 105 defense, 111 HP. So it actually has higher stats than I thought it would because Heracross maxes out over 3,000. It's interesting. Magneton, electric and steel type. 100% IVs will be level 21 with a CP of 1491. Gives you the highest attack stat we've seen so far at 145. A defense of 112, which is kind of mediocre, but an HP of 93. So Magneton is definitely out there to deal as much damage as possible. So if you can get in a very good situation, Magneton is going to deal a lot of damage. Finally, Breloom, grass and fighting. 100% IVs is a 19.5 level, 1464 CP, with the highest attack stat on this list, 151, but a measly defense of 93 and a measly HP of 100. So Breloom is not supposed to last. The point of Breloom is to get out there and deal massive damage. That's the point of Breloom. It's not supposed to survive. Breloom is a setup Pokemon. That's how you want to use it. I would definitely, if you want to use Breloom, I would definitely experiment with it as a setup Pokemon and then see how you do. So there you guys have it. Let me know in the comment section down below what Pokemon you guys might be using for your team. Are there any other Pokemon that I didn't mention on this list that you think might be pretty good that you might put on your team? Let me know in the comment section down below. Smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Be a part of the Fitz City fam. I do videos like these every time there's a new cup out, and I put out, I think, some pretty interesting information. So yeah, that's it, the boy Fitz. I'm signing off. See you guys in the next Pokemon Go video.